Hi guys, so we're here for upper body mobility. Okay, so this is going to be great for anyone tight in the shoulders, into the chest, also the upper back and a little bit into the lower back. Mainly working on the torso, so everything above the waist and up. We're going to focus on the triceps a little bit as well, and stretch into these wrists as well. So this is really good for anyone, particularly any guys and girls who are lifting, maybe doing CrossFit or HIIT workouts where there's a lot of push work in terms of burpees or press ups, that kind of thing. Okay, really try and round these shoulders back by releasing the chest and shoulders. So yeah, it's really good for post-workout. If you're going to do it before a workout, I would make sure you don't hold these stretches too long and make yourself too loose. You don't want to be too flexible before you start lifting and bench pressing and things like that. So yeah, if you're going to do it before working out, maybe just do it a little bit earlier in the day, leave some time, or maybe just sort of flow in and out the exercises and the movements rather than holding these stretches. But if you're going to do it after a workout or maybe on a rest day, feel free to hold these stretches out a little bit longer. Again, only go to your level, okay? So everyone's at different, levels of where they're at and flexibility wise. Some people are tighter in other areas than other people, and you've just got to go to your level. It's going to be quite easy to follow, but we're going to have little progressions that are going to be more accessible for some people, okay? So if you're finding that it's excruciatingly painful, then, don't do it. Then come out, find something a little bit easier. Okay, so if we're doing some stretches that are working into your shoulders, that might be enough there. Okay, we don't need to clasp the hands together just because that's what someone else is doing or that's what I'm doing, or, so just find your level. And over time, just try and build that up until you can get into them moves. And you're never going to complete it, okay? So just find where you're working and lengthening the muscles. We're not trying to overstretch and just make the muscles completely floppy. We're just trying to return them back to where they need to be. So I'm doing some knots and just hopefully feeling a little bit more mobile and a little bit more flexible. Getting a little bit more range of motion is the key here, okay? So we're going to start standing on the mat. Okay, you can kick your shoes off. I think it's going to be better with shoes off. Socks as well if you want to. We're going to start on the mat in a nice standing position. Okay, nice and tall. Okay, allow those shoulders to drop, so hands in pockets, head nice and level, and we're just taking the hands down and just feeling that stretch in the neck and the traps. Okay, it's very simple. We're just stood nice and tall. We can lock the legs out, okay, tense the legs, squeeze into the glutes. Maybe just tense the abs a little bit and hold that chest up nice and high. And then from there we're taking the hands up, reaching up to the sky. Nice and long, reaching up. You can just look up to the sky, reaching into the fingertips. Okay, reaching up nice and tall. And then from there we're just going to do a little side bend. So just taking it over to your left. Okay, I'm going over to my right. And back to centre. Okay, imagine we've got a ball in these hands, okay, so a basketball, we're reaching it up to the sky, just taking it out to the other side, nice and gentle. And back to centre. Bring the hands down. Once more, just take the hands, reach them down, so fingers sliding down the legs, round the shoulders back. And again, once more, I'm going to reach up. This time, if you can, fingers touching, maybe in this pistol grip. Only if you can. If not, you can take it a little bit wider with the arms. If you can, hands touching. You can widen the feet for balance if you want to, or keep them close. And just gentle, a little bit further this time, over to the side. Nice little side bend. So we should feel a stretch all the way down in the back of the arms, into the lats, all the way down to the pelvis. And back to centre. We're just going to add a little variation there. So take this hand, lift it up. And feel the stretch a little bit deeper now as we pull this arm up and over. Going over as far as you can. Again, just stay at level 1 if you can. If you can't do this, if it's too much. Back to centre and reaching up once more. Over to the other side. And again back to centre. Grab the top arm and the wrist. Pull the arm up and over. And stretch. Nice deep side bend. You can push the hips out if you want. Again, if you need to, you've got the wideness of the legs for balance. Maybe you can keep it narrow. And back to centre. and then bring them arms down again. Again, slide them hands down. Allow them shoulders to roll back. Stand nice and tall, feet together, and just hold it there. A nice deep breath. And in. And out. Okay, reaching up. Okay, try and keep the hips square at this point. Okay, and we're just turning the upper body. So turning the torso as far as you can. Okay, that might just be there. 15 degrees, 20 degrees, 30, 40. Wherever you can get to, and back to centre. And the opposite way. Back to centre. Okay, we can widen the feet a little bit more for stability. And we'll twist in a little bit further this time. Keep the hips facing forwards. Okay, so notice my hips, they're still facing forwards. I'm not allowing them to twist, not allowing the knees to move. So we're reaching up, twist. We can widen the arms. We can also narrow the arms. It's going to make it a little bit more challenging. Back to centre. Going to widen them on this one. Hip square and twist. Opposite way. Close them arms up if you can. And back to centre. And bring the hands down. Okay, last one here. We're just going to send the arms down. And then we're going to shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze the traps. Hold them nice and high. Okay, from the side. Shoulders right up to the ears. And then release them shoulders down all the way. And allow the arms to sink even lower this time. Stretching into the traps. Okay, getting a little bit warm, so I'm going to take this hoodie off. Okay, on to the next one. Working a little bit more into these shoulder joints. Okay, so again, hands reaching down, chest nice and high, chin level. We're reaching the arms up and forward to 90 degrees. Try and keep them shoulders back. Okay, we don't want to round them forward. We don't want to really overdo it, bringing them back, just nice and neutral. Arms level with the chin. And from there, start lifting them arms up. So we've got this basketball in our hands. We're reaching up, nice and tall, nice and strong into the legs. Maybe taking the gaze up towards the fingertips, looking up to the sky. Okay, you're going to have a variation here. So level one, hands to your hips, and you're going to fold forward. Nice flat back. Straight legs if you can, but don't worry too much about the legs. If you need to put a little bend in the legs, put a bend. If you can, straighten them. Level two, keep the hands here. Okay, so we're folding forward, nice and gentle. Okay, level one is, if you're down here, maybe start reaching them arms out if you can. So we're both going to try and end up in this position, level 1 and 2. Okay, for some people, this might be a little bit more challenging coming over and they might find the back rounding like this. We don't want to do that. We're going to try and keep the back long and reach out with them arms. Okay, so it might be better to fold forward with a flat back, get the back in the position, then send the arms out. Again, coming out of it, you might want to bring the hands in and stand. If you can and you've got the strength and the stability, you can stand with the arms up. Reaching all the way up to the sky. Nice little back bend here. Okay, not too deep. If you can, just gazing up to the sky. And then down. Back to neutral. Okay, we're going to do one more of them. We're going to face this time. Okay, so arms up to 90. Send the shoulders back, chest nice and tall. Reach up to the sky. And then fold forward at whatever level you can. So flat back, either way. Hinging forward. Reaching them arms out. Nice and long. And then hands can come down on the hips and stand. Or keep them out and stand up. Okay. We're going to do one more. A little variation at the end. Okay, so we're reaching up. All the way to the sky. Fold forwards. 90 degrees. Straight legs. Reaching out. Really try and find some length in these arms. So you're stretching out into the lats in both sides. And then everyone take the hands down to the knees. And then just use their arms to make a nice flat back. Okay, so from here, nice flat back. Head level, okay, so it's not dropped. We're not looking up and bending the neck back. Head is level. Nice flat back here. From there, take a nice deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, just let your upper body fold forwards. Leave the legs where they are, nice and straight. Taking the head down towards the knees, okay, wherever you can. If that's here, that's fine. If it's here, wherever, okay, if you can. Use those arms on the back of the calves, gently taking the head down towards the knees. If you need to have a little soft micro bend in the knees, fine. If you can, and it's not too painful, straighten them legs. And working strongly into them arms. Use the strength of this upper body and allow the lower back to release. Again, remember to breathe. Okay, working with the breath as well. So nice deep breath in. You might raise up a bit. And then breathing out. Going a little bit deeper. From there, we're going to scoop the arms all the way up to the sky. Reach up nice and tall. Little back bend again. Maybe you can have the fingers interlaced. Maybe they need to be wide. Maybe it feels better. Wide arms. And then hands come down into a prayer position. We're going to go into a chair. Okay, so squatting down just to your level without the heels lifting. Try and keep them heels down. Feet nice and flat. Back is nice and flat and engaged. Okay, tuck the tailbone in. Okay, so we're not tilting the hips back, we're trying to scoop the hips in and sink nice and low. Reach the arms up if you can. If not, you've got your hands here, or maybe here, or here. Reach the hands up. And stand. Okay, and have a little breather there. Okay, so the next section, we're going to be down on our knees in all fours. Okay. So we're just going to work on the spine, so some cat-cows. Just try and mobilise the spine. Okay, so taking it down to the mat, all fours position. Okay, try and have your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. Okay, so it sounds simple, but what we don't want to be doing is out here, and we don't want to be too close. Okay, so a nice gap. Okay, and hands as well. The width is just over hip width for the knees. And I'd say just over shoulder width for the hands. You might want to go hips and shoulder width, but it sometimes feels a little bit narrow. So wherever feels comfortable, but we don't want to be stretched out here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the side. Nice and grounded, nice flat neutral back, pushing into the ground. Okay, stabilising these shoulders. Okay, from there we're going to take a nice deep breath in as we drop the belly. Start looking up to the sky, tilt the hips, and allow the back concave and flex the spine, and then a nice deep breath out as we breathe up. Breathe out, push the spine up to the sky, round the back, stretch into the upper back, push nice and strong into the hands, tuck the chin into the chest, tilt the hips, and once more breathing in, drop the belly, lift the head, tilt the hips, push nice and strong into the hands, scoop the chest forward, and breathing out. Pushing up to the sky, round the upper back, and release back to neutral. Okay, we're just going to do one more round of them, but a little bit deeper this time. So really focus on that breath. Okay, so as you breathe in, the belly's going to expand, and that's when we drop the belly towards the mat. So think a nice deep breath here. So on 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Looking up to the sky. Tilt the hips back. And breathing out. Rounding the spine. Pushing nice and strong into the hands. Tucking the chin into the chest. And a little gentle breath in. Back to centre. Okay, from here we're going to do a quick pose of child, so just get used to that. So feet together, knees a little bit wider here, hands a little bit further forward, and gently start pushing the bum back towards the heels. Okay, just wherever you can. You might find some crampness coming in these feet, sorry. Try and work with it, with the breath. Nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, push back. gently taking the chest down towards the mat. Maybe you can take the forehead all the way down, reaching the hands out nice and long on the mat. Okay, so head's down on the mat, I'm reaching the arms out. My hips are working back towards the heels, and I'm still breathing. You can relax the elbows down, or you can keep them engaged. Either way, try and think length along the mat. Also, hips going back that way. Nice deep breaths. And gently bring it back up to centre. Okay, we're going to do one more of them. I'm just going to face the other way. Okay, so we're going back down, just so you can see the knee width. Okay, and feet are touching together in the centre. Okay, so pushing back, seat to heels, reaching the arms along the mat, taking the forehead down. Should feel a nice stretch in the back of the shoulders. Okay, if that's enough there, and you're up a little bit higher, that's absolutely fine. Just take it where you can, and just work with that breath. So nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just push, and try and send the hips further back. All the way down. And just a few moments here. Nice deep breaths. And then gently start bringing it back up to all fours. Okay, so back to the side for you. Okay, so we're in this all fours position. From here we're going to lower the chest, gently take the chest down, and then allow it to slide forward along the mat. Okay, from here we're going to bring the feet together, nice and loose in the feet. Hands are just by your sides of your shoulders, okay, just slightly in front of your chest. From here we're gently going to start peeling the upper body up. I'm hardly using the hands, I'm using the lower back, okay? So I'm using the lower back to peel up. You can gently use the fingertips if you need to. Peeling up off the mat as high as you can. Taking the gaze to look up. And then just release it back down. Okay, we're going to try one more of those. I'm going to let you slide your hands a little bit further forward. Okay, so they're just in line with your face, but out to the sides. From there, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we start peeling up. Again, I'm not working too strong in the hands, okay? I could just use fingertips. I'm using the lower back as well as the arms. And gently release all the way down. We're going to push up and back into pose of child, so wide knees, narrow feet. Just allow the lower back to release. Seat to heels, reaching out with them arms. And from here, let's just take the arms and wrap them around the feet, okay? So arms come back, down the sides of the feet, allow the shoulders to relax. And a nice deep breath. In through the nose, and out through the nose. Okay, then picking it back up, slide it back into all fours. Okay, so our next one, we're just going to work on our wrist mobility, okay? So this is really, really useful for anyone doing CrossFit or, you know, in the gym doing front squats and shoulder press, things like that, where we've got these shoulders bent back. Okay, sometimes that can be quite restrictive and feel quite painful. Usually, I find it's caused by our lifestyles where we're either typing or driving or, you know, using tools and things, and we're very much squeezing on and holding things with our hands. We don't do a lot of sort of counter moves to undo that, okay? So this is just a great little stretch for the wrists and the hands and the fingers, okay? To make sure, you know, in older age, we're not all crumpled up and hands start going like this. Okay, so we want to try and stretch and bend the hands the opposite way. Okay, so we're in all fours. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Push down into the shoulders, okay, with the hands. So we're quite rigid here. We're holding quite sturdy, okay? And then from there, just start rocking forwards without lifting the back of the hand. Okay, so that might be there. That's fine. We're trying to keep these hands nice and flat so they're not lifting. And we're just stretching into the wrist. Okay, just leaning as far forward as you can. And just a nice gentle stretch, wherever that is for you. And then back to centre. Okay, maybe just shake them off and place them back down. I'm going to do one more the same. Try and go a little bit deeper on this one. Okay, nice deep breath in. And then gently just start rocking forwards. Don't allow them hands to peel up. Okay, so wherever you can go, we're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. And back to centre. Okay, from there, your hands are like this. Now they're going to point out to the sides. Okay, so 90 degrees to each side. That might be enough for a lot of people there who might be feeling it already in the fingers. Okay, if you can, from there, we're just going to take it over to one side. So this is going to intensify the stretch on this side. Not a lot's happening on the other side. Okay, and then back to centre, just check in there. And then out to this side. Notice the difference on either side. Maybe you've got one side tighter. Maybe one activity that you do more on one side. Or maybe we're quite equal. But we're just generally quite tight in both. Okay, back to the other side gently. Back to this side. And then just release. A little shake off. Okay, there's going to be one more. If you can, we're going to face your fingers back towards your knees. Okay, now that might be too much for some people. So if you want to stay here at the sides, that's fine. You can go in between. Okay, so about 45 degrees. If you can, we're going to face back. So pick a level. And from there, that might be enough in that position. Okay, if it feels okay and you've got the range of motion to do it, then gently start pulling back. Okay, so from the side, got hands on the mat, and I'm gently pulling back. Try not to lift these hands up. Okay, just to get in the position. I'm just gently pulling back to where I can. A few more moments here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, let's look at our next sequence. Okay, so we're moving into a downward dog position, but obviously we're focusing more so on our upper body, okay? So although the downward dog is a great stretch for the hamstrings and the back of the legs, we're not too focused on the legs today. More focused on the upper body position, trying to get that right. And also getting the stretch and the strengthening going on in the shoulders and in the arms. Okay, so first of all is the distance we need to set. Okay, so my mat's pretty good actually, cheating almost. We've got markers on the mats where I know I need to be, but for you guys, you're just going to have to find the right distance, okay? So we don't want to be too far out like this, where we can't get in the position, and we also don't want to be too close where we feel too scrunched up. So a good way to check is get in the all-fours position, okay, tuck the toes, extend the feet, and just walk them back a couple of steps. So we're in this press-up position, okay, our heels are tucked underneath our toes, we're pushing nice and strong into the arms, and that's pretty much the length that I want to be for my downward facing dog. Okay, from there we're going to bend the knees and start pushing back, leaving the knees bent, taking the chest back towards the knees and the thighs. Try and straighten the arms along the mat, spread the fingertips, push nice and strong into the hands, and we should have a nice flat back as we start taking the chest towards the thighs. Head's nice and loose. Okay, remember to breathe. And then from there you might be able to start straightening the legs. Maybe just pulsing each leg out. Okay, if you can, really try and lock out the legs and take the heels down towards the floor, but not at the expense of collapsing in the upper body. And then just push nice and strong into the arms. So hands are as stable as they would be as if it was in a handstand. Okay, so we're working nice and strong into these arms. We're not collapsing. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Have a gentle little rest. Wide knees, narrow feet, push back. Release the lower back. Take the chest and head down. And you pose a child. Okay, and then I'm going to come back up. Okay, you're going to do it once more. I'm going to face you this time. And we're just going to check on these arms and shoulders and try and open these shoulder blades. Okay, so there's a little trick we can just do. If we've got the strength there, if not, you can just stay exactly where you were. Okay, so next one, set yourself up, tuck your toes, plank position, and then start pushing hips up towards the sky, chest moving back towards the thighs, slight little bend in the knees, okay, and a slight little bend in the arms if you can, and then roll them elbows through so the insides of your elbows are facing forwards. Okay, so rather than be here, we're going to come in and scoop them through. It's going to round, widen the shoulder blades, separate them, and then start pushing back. Okay, from the side, scoop, elbows face forward, and push up and back. Nice deep breath here. 3, 2, 1, and release the knees down. Wide knees, narrow feet. Seat back to heels, stretching out on the mat. And relax. Okay, then coming back up. Okay, so our next one, working into an upward facing dog. Okay, so a few little variations here to make it a little bit easier. Okay, I'm actually going to take my socks off because we're sliding around a little bit on the mat with these socks. Better grip with just bare feet. Okay, so we're going to set ourselves up. Plank position. Pushing the hips up towards the sky, nice and strong into the arms. Chest moving back towards the thighs. Heels moving back towards the floor. And then from there we're going to come back to plank position. Gently drop the knees. Lower the chest but hover it from the floor. And then roll the shoulders through and take the hips down. Okay, you can put the tops of the feet on the floor. You can slide the hands forward a little bit if you need to. And then gently start using the arms to push up and relaxing into the upper body. Legs are nice and long on the floor. And really try and make sure these shoulders are round back. Okay, we don't want them in forward, okay? We want to take them round and back. Watch that, go back, and then push up. And then all the way down to the mat. Tuck the toes, push the hips back, lift the legs, straighten them, take the chest back towards the thighs. Nice long downward dog. And then lower the knees. Feet together, sit back onto the heels, child's pose. Just a few seconds here, just allow the lower back to release. And then we're coming back up. Okay, so we're going to go for the same again. If you're at that level, okay, that's enough. If you want to take it up to the next level, we're going to go into our full chaturanga, which we've got the legs hovering off the floor now, okay? So it's going to take quite a little bit of upper body strength. If you've got that, because you're used to press ups, or you maybe done a lot of yoga before and you can manage that, that's fine. If not, allow the knees to drop and keep the legs on the floor. Okay, so number 2, tuck the toes, hover the knees, step back into full plank. Take the hips up towards the sky, push the chest back towards the knees. Heels move towards the floor, maybe the toes lift. Nice and strong into the arms. Okay, and we're going to rock forward into a plank. Remember to keep the core nice and strong. Keep the elbows tucked in. We're lowering. From there, rock forward, roll the shoulders through. If you can, come on the tops of the feet. Legs locked out. Looking up to the sky. Nice and strong. And then flip the feet round, start pushing it back up. Downward facing dog. Heels moving back towards the floor. Nice and strong into them arms. Chest moving back to the thighs. And bring it forward. Widen the knees. Narrow the feet. Head down to the mat. And let's have the arms all the way around. Relax the shoulders. You might be able to interlace the fingers behind the buttocks. And just allow the upper body and the lower back to be soft. Okay, and I'm releasing them hands. Okay, so we're going to do one more of them just to allow you to get into that position a little bit deeper. Okay, I am particularly tight in my upper back and my shoulders, so although this move is really good for me to build up that sort of flexibility and that strength in these moves, I haven't completed it by any means, so you know, you might be way more advanced than me at this stage. Okay, but I promise you just keep doing it and focusing on just taking it a little bit further each time. The progression does come. Okay, so don't try and rush it just to get into these postures and these positions just for the sake of it. Really, you know, it's taken me probably 10 years of yoga to get to this stage, and I'm still a million miles off. And you know, if I'd have focused on yoga every day or as my main part of my training, then I probably would be a lot further on with it. But I have done a lot more weights, cardio, running, swimming, you know, all those different things at the same time. Try and find balance in it all, you know, and it does help, but it does slow down that progress. So yeah, if you focused on it for 3 years and did it 4 or 5 times a week, and that's all you did, I'm sure I'd be miles further on in terms of the progression into the postures. But it isn't my main goal to be amazing in the yoga postures. It is just, my main goal is just to be overall strong, fit, healthy, flexible, balanced. You know, so it's just about trying to keep everything ticking over, keeping a bit more sort of balance across the whole different disciplines of fitness, and not just focusing on strength and speed and then tightening up everywhere and then realising you're in pain and stuff all throughout your day. So yeah, just trying to find that balance. So last one of these. Okay, so tuck the toes straight into plank position, nice and strong in the core. Gently start pushing the hips up and back. Heels work towards the mat, maybe lift the toes. Nice deep breaths, pushing nice and strong into the arms. And then rock forward into plank position, nice and strong in the core. Gently lower the chest, hover from the floor, and then round through, roll the shoulders, pushing up into the hands. Legs are nice and locked out. Okay, we're almost dragging the back of the mat through as our hips slide forward, looking up to the sky. Flick the toes, push the hips up and back. Nice long down dog, nice and strong into the arms. Remember to keep the weight spread nice and equally through the hands. And then knees come down, sit back onto the heels. Take the forehead down to the mat. And this time we're going to let the elbows relax into the floor. Flick the palms round so our thumbs roll out. And just allow the shoulders to relax. Okay, a few more moments here. Nice deep breaths. Okay, on the next inhalation, gently start bringing it back up. Okay, I'm just looking at the sheet, so what we've got next. Okay, so this next one is going to be really, really good for anyone with tight lats. Okay, so the lats is one of the biggest, the latissimus dorsi is one of the biggest muscles in the upper body. Okay, so it comes all the way down into our lower back. Okay, so from top of shoulder all the way down to our lower back. So it's particularly tight in a lot of people. I find this one of the best stretches for it that I've found. So I'm going to face you. Okay, so it's very similar to a pose of child's starting position. Okay, so wide knees, narrow feet. Okay, we're reaching out forward onto the floor, taking the head down. From there, we're going to take our left hand out to the left, and right hand's going to take the place of where the left hand was. That might be enough there to feel a stretch down this right hand side. If you can, from there, take the head down towards the mat and then gently just walk the hand towards the left hand. So right hand's walking its way to the left hand. Gently, just fingertip by fingertip, inch by inch, just as far as you can until you start feeling this stretch down this right hand side. And it's going to stretch from the little fingertip on the right hand side all the way down to the hip on the right hand side. And again, working with the breath, nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you might be able to just walk another inch. And hold. On the next deep breath in, come back to centre. Just check in again in the middle. Okay, this time right hand out to the right. Left hand's going to take its place. That might be enough. Take the head down. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, walking this hand. So left hand this time walking towards the right. Feeling the deep stretch on the right hand side, on the left hand side lats. Notice any tightness, if it's any different in either side. And just move your arm accordingly to where that needs to be to feel this stretch. It's going to be slightly discomfortable, but it's not going to be uncomfortable, but it's not going to be, you don't want to be excruciatingly painful. Okay, so a little bit of discomfort is okay as we feel the stretch, but we don't want no sharp shooting pains. If you're getting them, ease out, come back to centre, just go to your level. Nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, can we walk another inch? And on the next inhalation, slide it back to centre. Okay, and we'll just take a nice little counter pose here. We're going to come onto our backs. And we're just going to lie down onto the mat and squeeze them knees in. Just hug them knees in. And a nice little rock side to side. Just massage that lower back. And then when you're ready, come back all the way up to seat. Okay, so our next one, we're going to go into a downward dog again. We're just going to focus a little bit more on this upper body by keeping the legs bent this time. Okay, so set yourself up, tuck the toes, pick the hips up, but keep the legs bent now. So we're pushing up and back, nice and strong into the arms. Keep the legs bent. Really start pushing up. Dropping the chest towards the knees. Maybe you can walk the feet in a little bit closer, but they're still bent. Work nice and strong into them arms. Remember what we did before when we bent the arms slightly. Rotate the inner elbows to face forward and then push back once more. And then from there we're going to start straightening the legs now. So we'll work really strong into the arms, straighten them legs, then come forward into a plank. If you need to drop the knees, drop the knees. If you can, lower to chaturanga. Slide it forward, roll the shoulders back, tops of feet on the mat, slide it through, look up to the sky, and hold. And from there, flip the toes, pick the hips, push up and back, heels working their way to the floor, nice and strong into the arms. Again, remember we can bend the arms, scoot the inner elbows forward, push the chest back, heels going towards the floor, and then release the knees down, all the way to the mat. Wide knees, narrow feet, push back, and relax. Taking the head down, allow the arms to be soft this time. Nice deep breaths. Okay, and the next inhalation starts sitting up. Okay, so we're moving on to our next routine. Now I'm going to spin round, mix it up a little bit. Okay, so this one we're in all fours again. This one we're just going to be focusing on our core and lower back. Okay, so let's just check that sequence, and we're going to be doing thread the needle as well. Okay, so all fours position. Again, make sure we're in a nice stable position. Knees underneath hips, okay, at hip width. Hands underneath shoulders at shoulder width. From there, we're going to take our left hand and reach it out as long as we can. Stay facing down at the mat. And from there, if you can, you're going to release your opposite leg. So right leg is going back straight. Don't be too low, but we don't need the leg up in the air. Nice and level. Okay, don't allow your foot to twist. Try and keep your hips in line. and we're reaching out and we're pushing back with the heel. So flex the foot, reach the fingertips, and then gently start bringing knee to elbow. Squeeze it in, round the upper back, and then nice deep breath in as you push fingertips out, heel back, and breathe it in once more. And I'm reaching out. Nice deep breath in, and breathing out as you come in. Deep breath in, stretch as far as you can, and back to centre. Okay, we're going to do the opposite side. So right hand reaching out, left foot kicks back, reach out as far as you can. Deep breath in, and breathing out as you push the spine up to the sky. Squeeze the elbow into the knee, and breathing in. Push the heel back, flex the foot, reach the fingertips, and breathing out. Squeeze, and inhale. Reach the fingertips, push the heel back, and breathing out. Elbow squeeze into knee, and back to centre. Okay. So staying in this position, I'm going to take my right hand and slide it through. So I'm threading the needle, shoulders dropping towards the floor, head's going down to the floor. I'm reaching as far as I can with this right hand. From there we take that hand up, twist and rotate to the sky, look to the top hand. Okay, so the eye line's following the thumb at the top. And then take the hand back down. And reach a little bit further this time as you take the head down. So thread the needle, right arms through. We can take the left hand up to the sky, so reach the left hand up nice and tall. If you want to take it to the next level, we can bend that left arm, place the hand on the outside of the opposite hip, and twist and open the chest to the sky. We're going to feel a nice deep stretch on these shoulders and into the chest. Okay, and then from there, take this left hand in front of your face, use that to push yourself up, back to all fours. Okay, so we'll do the same on the opposite side. I'm going to face the camera now so you can see the angle facing forward. Okay, so we're working on the opposite side now, so I've got left hand, slides through, drop the shoulder, drop the head. Okay, there's too much weight on the head, you just need to push your hips back over your heels. From there, we take the left hand back up, twist and rotate to the sky. Look to the top thumb, reach up nice and tall, and then hands come down. Left hand reaches through, gently place the head down, stretching into that upper back and shoulder. Again, we can use the right hand to reach up to the sky, gently bend the right arm, place the hand on the outer hip, and then twist and open the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Right hand comes in front of the face, use that to push yourself up to all fours. And just gently then push back into the pose of child. So wide knees, narrow feet, reaching out onto the mat. Allow your lower back to be soft. Allow the elbows to drop to the floor. And just a little relax. A few moments here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Picking it back up. So we've done both sides. Okay guys, so this next one, it's not something you normally find in a yoga session, but it's one of the best stretches I find for my shoulder and my chest. Okay, so it is very, very, very simple. And if you've just done a load of bench press or something like that, it's one of the best stretches to do. You just jump on the floor, just roll over each side, and it just really releases the tension. I'm going to show you facing forwards. I think that'll be the best angle for you to see. Okay, so we're going to go down onto the mat. We're reaching our arms out into this T position. Okay, so arms are nice and wide at 90 degrees. Feet together, Okay, push the hips down into the mat. Okay, from there we're going to slide our left hand in right by our left shoulder. From there we're going to roll over the right arm, keeping this shoulder down on this right arm. We're using the top leg as a little bit of a weight to drag the hips over and gently start stretching into the shoulder and chest on this right side. We can actively use the left hand to push away and gently take the gaze up to the sky, stretching to the neck as well. Okay, from there, I can just gently relax, release the tension, and play around with the position of this arm to hit different parts of the chest and shoulder. Okay, so I find if I lift my arm up a little bit higher, stretch it a little bit deeper into the shoulder and into the upper pecs. Okay, a bit lower, and we're going a little bit more deeper into the chest and not as intense on the shoulders. It's also a really good stretch for the biceps as well. Make sure them hands are pushing down flat into the floor. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, just push and twist and look up to the sky a little bit further. And then gently come back to centre. Just checking in the middle, make sure you're all square again, feet together. This time left hand's out straight, right hand slides in. Twist and turn and roll and rotate over the left shoulder, stretching into that chest, looking up to the sky. Again, using this right hand to push into the floor. You should be finding a nice deep stretch in the shoulder and chest. If you're not, you maybe just want to play around with that position of the arm. Again, make sure this left hand's pushing nice and flat into the floor. Nice and strong into the right hand as well. We can play around with the position again on this side. If you find any tight areas, maybe just spend a little bit longer. And don't go quite as deep. Okay, we're going to come back to there. Looking up to the sky. 3, 2, 1. Arm back to the middle. We're going to push it back up. And we're going to look at the sheet again for our next set. Okay. So the next one, we're just going to work into these shoulders and try and bring the chest through. Okay, so these ones are going to be on our backs. So take yourself on your mat, lie down nice and flat. Okay, extend your legs out, full length of your mat, hands by your sides. Roll your shoulders out, thumbs can roll out to the side so you open your palms towards the sky. Flex at the foot, so push the heels as far away from your buttocks as you can. Lift your toes up to the sky. And then from there we're taking the hands up and over. Thumbs come together. And the top of your hands sit on the floor. So we're reaching as far back as we can with them fingertips. We're pushing into the heels. Okay, it's just a little bit of prep for this next one. Okay, from there we're going to start bending the legs. So bend at the knees, slide your heels in closer to your bum. Okay, take your arms back over and place them by your heels. Okay, you can almost touch your heels with your hands. Okay, from there we're going to start peeling the hips up, squeeze into the glutes, and start pushing the hips up to the sky. So this is a glute bridge, but we're really trying to get these hips up nice and high. From there we can take the arms up and over and start reaching back, and that might allow us to take the hips even higher as we push nice and deep into the feet. And then bring the arms back over and gently release. Okay, so that's just a little bit of prep work there. If anyone struggles with this next bit, then by all means you don't need to do it. We're going to be interlacing the hands underneath our body, we're going to need to shuffle the arms underneath to get into that position. Okay, so we're going to try it now. If anyone's struggling, just go back into the glute bridge with the arms released and stretching back. Okay, so set yourself up, squeeze your glutes nice and tight, scoop your hips, lift them up, and then from there we're going to walk one arm under and then get the other arm under. From there you might be able to interlace the fingers. Okay, so interlace the hands together, and I've got the shoulders working their way underneath, and I'm pushing up nice and strong with the hips, squeezing into the glutes, trying to open this chest. So we should feel the stretch across the chest, and we can use the arms interlaced, hands interlaced, and walk the shoulders underneath even further. Using the glutes to pick the chest up. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, so I hope you felt that stretch across the chest as the arms wrap round. Might be quite uncomfortable. Okay, something we can work on. Okay, so again, it's still a little preparation for this next couple of little stretches we're going to do. Okay, so from there, we're going into this tabletop position. So we've just opened the shoulders up, so we want to try and replicate what we've just done, but this time there's going to be a lot more force coming through the upper body. Okay, we're going to have a lot more weight, it's not just going to be sat on our upper back. So you want the hands behind and down on the floor, feet flat on the floor at hip width, and just have a little play around with the distances. Okay, so you don't want your feet too far out, you don't want them too far in. You want your feet underneath your knees, and you want to be able to roll them shoulders back and roll the chest through. Okay, nice flat position, tabletop, squeeze the belly in, tense the glutes, and then start pushing up as high as you can, allowing the chest to come through. If this is too hard for anyone, come back into glute bridge, squeeze in here, maybe take the arms back. Okay, for everyone else, really try and push up, nice flat tabletop position. Allow the head to tilt back slightly, stretching into the neck. And we're holding for 3, 2, 1, gently release. Okay, a little counter pose. We're going to go wide with the knees, squeeze the knees into the chest. And again, just a little massage of the lower back. Rocking side to side. 3, 2, 1. And release. Okay, if that was challenging enough, you can stay at that level. You can go back a level if you want to make it a bit easier. Okay, we're going on to the next one, which is even harder. It requires a little bit more upper body strength. Okay, so we've not got in this tabletop position now. We're going to go straight legs into full reverse plank. Okay, you do need to engage the back of your legs and your quads, and your glutes and your hamstrings and your lower back. So everything needs to be working in your legs to create that nice straight line. You also need your core turned on as well. So there are a lot of things that are working here to hold you in that position, basically just to stretch our chest and shoulders. Okay, so it's not essential that we do that, but I'm at that level where I want to really work on strength and stretching in this position while I've got all this going on down here as well. Okay, so full reverse plank. Set yourself up. Again, if you need to drop to tabletop, bend the legs. Okay, we're going to tense the glutes, squeeze the legs, and start pushing our hips up to the sky, round the shoulders, stretching into the chest, point the toes if you can, push nice and strong into the arms, allow the head to tip back, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and all the way down onto your mat. Okay, we're just going to do a little nice relax on the mat, so allow the arms to reach back, spread the feet, allow the little toes just to drop to the sides, tuck the chin into the chest, and just relax. So it does take it out of you when you're having to switch on all those little core muscles. So we do have these little rests in between. From there, just start picking the knees up, squeeze them in. So just hug the knees in, interlace the fingers. A little rocks forwards and back. On the next big one, you're going to sit all the way up. Okay, all the way up to seated. Okay, so our next one, we're going to need a belt yet? No, we don't need a belt yet. Okay, so find a nice seated position. Okay, for some people, just simple cross-legged is enough. If you can go into this sort of position. If anyone's advanced enough to go into lotus and things like that, feel free to do so. I'm pretty comfortable here. If that's too tight for you, just go into a simple cross-legged position. Maybe you want to elevate yourself. So it can be nice to get a pad or some clothes and be sat on a little pillow or a cushion. Okay, it just reduces the angle in your hips and makes it a little bit more comfortable. Okay, I don't particularly need that anymore. I did do for a long time. If you do need it, don't worry, we've all been there. Okay, so if you can, wherever's comfortable. So we're going to be sat here for quite a few minutes, so you need to be comfortable in this position. Okay, this one's really going to work on the shoulder blades, rotor cuffs, okay, and into the shoulders. I'm going to try and release these shoulders front and back. Okay, for some people, this next one's going to be really restrictive, especially if you're into your weights and all you've done is bench press, you know, shoulders, curls and things like that. You're massive in the shoulders. You're not going to have that range of motion there just yet. But there's plenty of people, guys and girls, with, you know, massive broad shoulders, loads of muscle there, but they've worked on the flexibility and they have got it. Okay, so it is possible. You just got to take your time with it. Okay. So sit up nice and tall, so chest pointing forward, we're not slouched. Okay, up nice and tall. We're going to take your arms out at 90 degrees. We're going to cross and fold. So I've got my left arm on top, right arm underneath, and I'm just going to hug onto the back of my shoulders and walk my elbows further round. Okay, so I'm hugging onto my own shoulders, and this is just a little settled position. Okay, and if anyone's tight here already and that's too much, or that's just enough, you can stay there. If you can, from there we're going to lift the hands up, we're going to take the hands up and we're going to go into this position. If that's enough, stay there. If you can, you might just be able to grab your thumb onto your other hand and gently start pulling them hands together, okay, into this eagle position. From here, that might be enough. If you've got it there and that you want a little bit more, you can start lifting the elbows a bit higher. So this is going to release the back of the shoulders. Try and lift them nice and high. Again, if you're still here and that's enough, that's absolutely fine. This is similar to the stretch that we've probably all done in PE, where we're stretching in this side. Okay, but here we're trying to work in both sides at the same time. And lifting them elbows. I'm just going to spin around to the side so we can see what sort of position I'm in. Okay, so my feet are set up, round my chest, left arm is on top, interlace the fingers, lift the elbows and relax the shoulders. A few more moments here, maybe we can lift the elbows a little bit higher. 3, 2, 1. And release it down. Okay, just have a little shake off there. Okay, we're going to go opposite arm on top. So right arm's on top now. Again, sit up nice and tall. Right arm on top, left arm underneath. Walk them fingertips round so we're hugging into our shoulders. Allow the arms to stand up. Interlace the fingers, a little bit tighter on this side for me. And again, if that's enough, stay there. If you can, gently raising the elbows. And you should be able to look through the little gap between your forearms. Sit up nice and tall. Nice deep breaths. And release them arms down. A little shake off. Okay, so feel free to go through that as many times as you want to try and build up the flexibility in the arms. We're just going to do that once today. I think that was enough. Across the back of the shoulders. Okay, the next one's going to work really well on the back of the triceps. One thing you're going to need, or potentially need, is either a belt or a rope, or you can use something like a hoodie or a towel would be enough. Okay, so it's just to be able to get hold with one hand and the other hand behind your back. Okay, so a towel is perfect. If you have got a yoga belt's pretty easy to use, or just a normal belt will do. Okay, so just do a few little prep moves first. Okay, so seated position, maybe switch around which leg was crossed first, just to keep everything balanced. Okay, so crossing the legs. We're going to start with our right hand reaching up into the sky. So right hand reaches up, bend that arm, and then use your left arm, and we're just stretching into that tricep. So a basic overhead tricep stretch to begin. I'm not staying here too long, we're just allowing this to start relaxing into this tricep. And release, switch sides, gently pulling into the left. Try and keep the chest up as you look forward. Try not to slouch. And then release, hands down. Right arm's going to wrap round the back. Okay, and I'm gently just going to use this left hand to pull on that arm. So allow this shoulder now to stretch back. Okay, if you can. And also allow this shoulder to drop. Okay, and then the opposite side. So left hand reaching round, use the right hand, sit up tall. Allow this shoulder to stretch on this left side. And release. Okay, I'm going to spin around just so you can see behind. Cross leg position still. Both hands come around, interlace the fingers if you can. If not, you might just be able to grab the fingertips. If you can interlace the fingertips, reach the shoulders back, hands come down, sit up nice and tall. Maybe you can start taking the hands up, as long as these shoulders are still rounding back. And from there, release. We're just going to do one more little stretch on the triceps, so right arm up again, bend into that arm, little tricep stretch, so we're trying to pull this hand down towards the other shoulder blade, stretching into the right side on the triceps. You can maybe add a little side bend, and back to centre. Switch sides, stretch into the left tricep, little side bend if you want. And release. Okay, so I'm going to stay facing this way just so we can see what's going on with the rope or the belts or the towel, whatever you've got. Okay, so first of all, you just want the rope halfway in your hands, so there's as much coming down both sides of that. Okay, from there you're going to take your right hand up, reach it up, and we're going to have the rope coming down this side. Okay, just hooked onto your thumb. The left hand's going to come up and start lifting it up your back. Okay, so bend into that arm. And then also bend the top arm, but keep hold of the rope and allow it to slide through the bottom hand. So we're trying to get as short a rope as we can. In time, hopefully I'm going to get my fingertips to touch and interlace my fingertips. This rope is just bridging that gap for now. You might already be there. If you are, great, and you know what you're doing, grab your hands. If not, start working into the belt. Okay, so I'm using this top hand to lift the bottom arm up, and then I'm releasing this bottom hand, and then allowing this top hand to bend even further and get hold again. Okay, pull this bottom arm up, sit up nice and tall. Again, release the bottom arm, bend. Okay, and that's about my limit there before I start having to crease and get into weird positions to try and make it happen. Okay, from there, I'm pulling in this top arm up. I'm also pulling down with the bottom hand. I'm allowing my left shoulder to roll back. Okay, keeping the chest up and tall. Head's level. Nice deep breaths. So breathing in. And out. Once more, breathing in. And out. If you notice the rope's going slack or you think you can, on a deep breath in, release that bottom hand, slide the top hand down a bit more. You can maybe even walk and start pulling these rope together. And hold it tight. And deep breath in again. And hold. And breathing out. Keep that chest up and tall. We're going to go for one more. Nice deep breath in. And breathing out. And gently start releasing and let it all go. And just have a little brief moment there, just sat in the middle. Okay, this time we're going to switch the legs. Keep it even in these cross-legged positions. And the next one, so we're going to go left arm up, reaching up with the left arm. Okay, we're going to take the arm down, bend the arm. Opposite arm's going to come behind, grab the belt. Gently just start shortening the gap. Sit up nice and tall. And again, using the breath, so nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, you can maybe shorten the gap, lifting this bottom arm up. Slide the top arm down. Deep breath in. And that's pretty much at my limit there. So try and round this shoulder back. Sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in. Breathing out. Pretty tight on this side for me. Deep breath in. Maybe take it a little bit deeper, okay, so breathe, deep breath in again. Okay, and as I breathe out, folding that arm down, lifting this one up. Again, and breathing out. One more, breathing all the way in. And release, and relax, and we're done with the belt. Okay, we're just going to stretch back onto our mats. One more, reaching back, allow these shoulders to relax now. Let's widen them arms a little bit, widen them feet. Okay, little toes rolling out to the sides. Reaching back with the arms, stretching into the shoulders, tuck the chin into the chest. And just a few moments here, letting everything relax in these chest and shoulder areas. Deep breath in, and out. Okay, and the next inhalation, you're going to start walking up. Okay, sitting up. Okay, so our last one, we're working on our neck and shoulders, neck and traps. We're in this seated position again. We're almost done. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall. Okay, we're extending the spine and lifting the head up nice and tall. Okay, from there we're just going to turn and look to one side. Keep the chin high. Nice and level, back to centre, and then take it over to the opposite way. So try and look 90 degrees or beyond if you can, up to the side, and back to centre. Okay, we're going to go one more, so we're going to look to the side we first looked to, and then gently just start tilting the head back as we're looking out to the side, so feeling a little stretch on the front of the neck. And then back to centre, and then looking out to the opposite side. Again, gently start tilting the head back. And back to centre. Okay, once more, out to the first side. And then this time, gently look forward, look to the side and tilt the head forwards. So we're stretching into the back of the opposite side of the neck. And then return back to centre. Head nice and tall. Look out to the opposite side. Gently tilt the head forwards. And back to centre. And just hold it in the middle. Okay, so our next one, we're gently going to take this ear down to the same shoulder. Okay, so head nice and tall. And then allow the head to tilt to the side. Don't let it collapse. Think about lengthening the neck, up and out, and then tipping over. And then the opposite hand, we can just gently start taking that down to the floor. So my left ear is going closer to my shoulder, and I'm reaching the right arm out to the floor. Feeling a nice deep stretch now into this left side of the neck, and the right side of the neck. And then return back to centre. Okay, gently switch. So for me, my right ear is going towards my right shoulder. Left hand's reaching out to the floor. All the way down to the mat if I can with the hand. And back up to centre. Okay, from there we're gently going to take the head back, looking up to the sky. don't just collapse at the back of the neck. Lift up, so we're lifting our chin and chest high, looking up to the sky. And then from there, taking the head, tucking the chin into the chest. Head down towards the floor, stretching the back of the neck. And back up to centre. Okay, and then from there we're going to take the arms out onto the floor as we start sliding forward. Leave the legs where they are crossed if you can. Gently just reaching the shoulders forward. Bow the head. And a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, slide a little bit further forward. On the next inhale, all the way up. Back to seated. Okay, and we're done, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that little stretch for upper body, neck, traps, shoulders, chest. If you did, let me know. Give us a like, follow, share, whatever you can do. The more people that like these kind of things, the more that I'll do. I'm just enjoying sharing what I normally do. This is something that I do pretty much once a week, without a doubt. I also do these kind of movements almost every day as well, just very briefly get into these positions as well. So I really find that it helps prevent injury, get the most out of my workouts, and yeah, just feel a little bit more looser and more mobile in general. And it's something that you can't just come and do once every year or 6 months and expect it to do anything. It's something that you have got to do with consistency as well. So yeah, just a little insight into some of my recovery work there. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and please like, follow, share, and we'll catch you again.